one. Hit up Regina, the queen of EVs. It's easy, like 1, 2, 3. She's a Joe Lunghammer Chevy, always ready to help finance a reliable car. If you're in the Waterford area, stop by. See Regina, the queen of car loans for your new ride.
Hey there, it's Regina, the Queen of Car Loans. I'm super excited to be coming to you for another episode. We're here to share information, share hearts, and talk about everything you need to know about getting into that vehicle. Whether you're dealing with some bruised credit or just trying to figure out the whole car buying process, I'm here to support you every step of the way. Well, good morning, good afternoon. Doesn't matter what time that you are watching my video or my pod this morning. I am, as I said, I just got finished a live and now I'm doing a pre-record, but let me just listen. So I am live twice a month on my Facebook page and I'm live twice a month on my YouTube page. And the other couple weeks, I am pre-recorded. Now, the reason I'm pre-recorded because it's a lot to get up every Tuesday morning at 7:30, be here 7:30, 7:45 in the pod, right? So I wanted to be consistent on what I do. So I was talking to my business partner, Dr. Teresa Moore, and I said, it's so hard for me to get up. It's so hard for me to get up on Tuesdays to be here and then have to go to a meeting at my job at 8:30 when we have our meetings. And so she came up with the idea. She was like, Regina, why don't you just do 2 recordings a month? Therefore, you'll do 12 to 15 minute segment on 2 of them. And then the other 2 will be live. So I'm live on one Tuesday and then I'm pre-recorded. So right now I'm on the pre-recorded part. But if you are watching me for the first time and you are on YouTube, then please go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you are on my Facebook page, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, do me a favor, give me a follow, right? But give me a follow because when I do go live, you'll be notified every time I go live on my Facebook page. But also, even if my video or my recording is not, my pod is not live, comment in the bottom. Ask me a question because I will respond, or make a comment because I put a lot of energy into anything that I do because I love to share information. So today's topic, we can get it. Well, let me back up a little bit. You guys see the QR code on the screen. Get your phone. You know how we're into the new thing now, right? Get your phone, put your phone up there, right? And get a free copy of my ebook, badcreditbook.com. The QR code does work. Put your phone up there so you can get a free copy of my ebook, badcreditbook.com. Where I'm walking through the process of buying a car. You might not need me, but somebody else may need me. But also know this, it's in English and Spanish. Now, I started doing a show called The Queen's Corner about a couple years ago. And on my platform on Thursday morning on the radio, I have my audience is Hispanics. And I have a guy that we do it together. His name is Luis, and he's an interpreter. So I do it in English and he does it in Spanish, and I'm building up that audience. So I believe repetitious. You probably say, Regina, that's not your audience, but I'm always trying to look at doing other things and conquering other things, right? And it takes a while to build up a platform. I didn't become the queen overnight, right? It's all about building and transforming and doing things differently so that you can get more of an audience. But get a free copy of my ebook. But okay, so today we're going to talk about expert tips on how to inspect a used car. So many times over the years, I've seen people go to the dealership or they look to buy a used car and they don't know what to look for. They don't know what kind of questions to ask. They don't know what to do. So being with my 25 years experience that I have in this great automobile space, I want to do a little bit of sharing so that I can save you time, I can save you money, or when you go looking for that vehicle, whether you're getting a vehicle from the queen or you're getting a vehicle from someone else, is that you're equipped and you feel confident and you're secure in everything that you do. So it's all about being confident. It's about being confident and it's about being secure in what you are doing. It's all about being like, you're on top of this world when you're going to buy a used car. You know how you go into the store and you're looking, you know it, you go into an event and you can picture yourself in this color or this outfit, or you're trying to find the right color that you feel that you would look good in. But you already know the color, you already know the flavor, you already know what you look good into. Well, when you go look for that car, I just want to make sure that you know that you look good, you feel good, you're confident with your conversation, you're confident in the things that you're thinking about in your head. So, number one, you want to make sure that you ask the right questions. Number one, how many miles do you have on the car? Now, this is important is because a lot of people think because the higher the mileage, the car is not going to last that long because the mileage is so high. But that's not always necessarily true. When you have the higher mileage, for instance, 20,000 miles per year or the 15,000 miles per year, or let's just say you did a 3-year lease and you turned it in with 60,000 miles. 3 years, 60,000, 3 years, 60,000 miles, 20,000 miles a year. And you say, you know what? I want to buy that car. You bought it new, but now it's used. And you're saying, I don't know if that's going to be a good car. You leased it brand new, but then now you're buying your own used car. Why not buy it? Why? It's because more than likely all those miles are put on the highway. Depends on your travel. Now remember, highway miles are you just zooming down the road. If your car has less miles on it, that means you stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. So highway mileage sometimes is the best way to go. Because when you have the lower mileage, you're doing shorter trips. You're stopping this place, stopping that place. You have an issue. You may have issues because you're going to stop, go, stop, go. You get that vehicle, you put it on the highway, you're going nonstop for a good 45 minutes or a good hour. So remember, the vehicle with the higher miles might be better than the vehicle with lower miles. It's not like back in the day. Things are changing as time goes by. So remember, it's all about the change in time because look, now we got cell phones, we scanning QR codes. So let's go to the change with the time. Number two, how is that vehicle equipped? Is that vehicle equipped whether it's listed on the ad as has a transmission, has the safety equipment you need, the audio system, the cruise control, the power seats, the Bluetooth, the rear entertainment system, the backup camera. What does it have that you actually need? Now, most of these new cars now, they're coming with the backup camera, right? But it's an option. You know, most of them are making standard. Most of these manufacturers are making it standard, but it might be a particular company that does not offer the backup camera. So what do you need? What do you actually need and a must to buy that vehicle? Not after the fact that you didn't look at what was listed that came on that vehicle, or did you not touch and make sure it had that? Especially when you're buying a used car, people make mistakes and maybe something on there that they put on there that might not have. For instance, we have made a mistake and said the car had a power seat and it didn't. It wasn't a mistake on purpose, but it was a mistake that actually it was a mistake that happened, right? And so we corrected it. After we noticed we made that mistake, we corrected it. So double check and confirm that that vehicle is equipped on what you need and what you need and what you want. Now, number three, what's the car's condition? Ask if the potentially broad question, whether you're going to a dealership or you're going to a for sale by owner, what's the car's condition? The seller may bring up something that you would not have thought of. For instance, you're going to for sale by owner, which we call a private seller. They may tell you something about the car you didn't even think about. So sometimes when you ask a broad question, you leave a lot of things open on the table. Means that a person will sing and talk to you and tell you some things that you never thought of. So do me a favor, ask those broad questions. Don't think that you got to always hit people like boom, and you got to ask that specific question, because if you let a person talk, especially when it comes to the sale of a car or even a salesperson, sometimes we may tell you some things that you never thought that you would think of. So Number 4 is, how is the body and the interior? If it says it's not addressed that already, you have specific things. For instance, if the body looks good on the outside of it, which we call the exterior, and you know that the paint is a little different, or you know that just a little speckle or something in the paint, more than likely that car has been in an accident. But that's where you need to ask for the Carfax. The Carfax or the audio check. Now remember, the Carfax and the audio check is the same thing, it's just different terms. A lot of dealerships use the Carfax that I know of, but sometimes people use audio check. But it does the same thing. Remember that it is the history of the car. When the person actually purchased the car, is going to be on there, right? When they got their oil changes, is going to be on there. As long as they didn't go to a mechanic that does not report, but they're going to a licensed mechanic that has a shop, is going to be on the Carfax. So if when they got the oil change, where they got the brakes done, anything that they got done on their vehicle and it's at a licensed facility, it is going to be on there. So whether you're going to a for sale by owner or in a dealership, you can get a Carfax. Carfax is free when it comes to going to a dealership, but if you get it for sale by owner, they're not going to be offering a Carfax. That's something that you will have to either ask the seller for. If they have one, they could get you one, or you might just have to go online and purchase one. But either way it goes is worth it. Remember, it's your investment. So know that sometimes if you can't get the answer to your question, especially if you're buying a for sale by owner, you just might have to spend a little bit to get the answer that you need, right? And the answer that you want to be more comfortable with your decision of buying that used vehicle. And so has it been in a crash? Number 5, that's the same thing. That's basically going with the Carfax. Remember, I remember when I first got in this business long time ago, was no Carfax. We didn't. They had to take what we said. And, the Carfax came around a few years later, and that's when we just say, you know what, get the Carfax. Here's Carfax. Tells you everything. But let me just say this. Some ways it's ways around to get around the Carfax, especially if you have an individual that does not report it there. I'll give you an example. I was driving a Range Rover, and I forgot, I don't know what happened. I got in an accident, and my neighbor across the street owned a body shop, and that's exactly what he specialized in that. So I got my vehicle repaired and turned my leased Range Rover back in. No, I didn't tell him. No, was it on there? No, it wasn't. But it's not a crime to not put it on the Carfax. It's not a crime to not put it on the Carfax. Let me just say that. Turn my head around. It's not a crime not to put it on the Carfax. So I got my vehicle, the damage taken care of, and it didn't go on the Carfax. And I did, and it was very good. It looked real good. You know why? Didn't even get a bill from Range Rover. Didn't get a bill. So I know his work was top notch. So number 6 is, I think that's number 6. Yeah, number 6. Do you have service records? Now, if you are going to for sale by owner, if they have service records, just telling you they're on top of their game. If you go to a dealership not going to have service records unless the individual that traded in the car supplied them with service records. But that's why you have the Carfax. But if you do it for sale by owner, number 6, do you have service records? Do you have when you got your brakes checked or you got your brakes done? Or maybe you had a flush on your transmission, or you got some work done on your vehicle. Back in the day, what everybody did, what my dad did, what my mom did, they kept the service records because they never knew when they wanted to they needed to refer back to those records. So have your service records, especially if you're selling your car to a person and not a dealership. Now, number 7, are there any open recalls? Now, if you're buying your car from a dealership, a franchise, or was an independent dealer. Independent dealer is a B lot, someone that's standalone, or you buying a franchise. Find out whether there's open recalls. On the Carfax, it'll tell you whether there's open recalls. Make sure that's done before you take your car home, because that'll save you time, money, and energy. And let me just say this, some open recalls might not be able to be done because maybe the part's not available. But that's a little different. Number 8, question the private sellers that you need to ask is, Have you owned the vehicle since it's new? Now, this is important. This is going to be my last point here, right? You want to find out from the private seller who owns the vehicle, because you can't ask the dealership, because the dealership doesn't know. They're not going to be able to tell you whether 2 or 3 people drove the car or was that the only person that drove the car. But if you're talking to the person actually selling the car, they should be able to tell you. Now, if they have owned it since new, they should be able to tell you that, because what? Whether they made payments on the vehicle, whether they paid cash for it, they'll know the people that have been driving it. But listen, this is very key, and I know you guys didn't think about this, is that if you're buying it from a private seller, how many drivers was it? Sometimes what happens is a person will buy a car, brand new. They'll have it for those, say, 5 years. And then they'll pass it down to their child. But it's a boy or girl. Somebody else is driving that car. Or maybe the parent pass it on. Maybe the parent and the husband and wife share the car. Or maybe somebody shared the car. 2 people share the car. Then they pass it on to their child. So you got 3 people that have driven that car in 5 years. And maybe it's on the 6th year. And then it's where the child is driving the car. So whether it's a sibling or it's a child, somebody else is driving the car, they pass it on. Remember, that's more on wear and tear on the car. So know that asking how many people have driven that car since you own it is very important, because it's about wear and tear. Everybody takes care of things differently. I just started taking my cars to the car wash 3 or 4 times a week back in 2017, 18. And I started going to Jack's. Why? It's because I got tired of having a dirty car. And then I didn't want to pay out my pocket every time, so I figured I would get a membership. But it's the wear and tear of the car. I want it to look good in my car. Whatever I drive, I didn't want to drive a dirty car. So I had it where, even though I'm leasing my vehicles, but people, if anybody bought that vehicle after the lease was up, then they would know whoever had that car, they actually took some work, they took some love and some care on that particular vehicle. But again, if you are come across my channel for the first time, I want you to just make sure that you go to if you're on my YouTube channel, subscribe. And if you're on my Facebook page, Regina, the Queen of Car Loans at Joe Longhammer Chevrolet, make sure you give me a follow. Give me a follow, because you'll be notified every time I do a video. But real quick, recap. Ask the right questions. How many miles do you have on your car? Number 2, how is your car equipped? Number 3, what is the car's condition? Number 4, how is the body and interior? Number 5, has the vehicle been in a crash? Number 6, do you have service records on that vehicle? Number 7, are there any open recalls? And number 8, questions for private sellers since you owned it since it was new. These questions are important when it comes to going to buy a used car. All right, see you in the next video. That's a wrap on today's episode. Thank you so much for spending time with me. It truly means the world. If you need help with a car loan or just want to chat about your situation, you know where to find me. Hit that subscribe button. If you want more tips and support, and remember, everyone has a situation, but together we can get into that vehicle you need. I'm Regina, the Queen of Car Loans, and I'm here for you.
It's Regina, the queen of, Regina, the queen of, Regina, the queen of car loans. When you need one, hit up Regina, the queen of EVs. It's easy, like 1, 2, 3. She's a Joe Longhammer Chevy, always ready to help finance a reliable car. If you're in the Waterford area, stop by. See Regina, the queen of car loans, for your new ride.